right, Virgos. Life and love. General life and love. I don't like to focus on one or the other so much anymore because I think that everything's just so connected. There's no point to only focus it. All right, well, you have a fire sign, Aries, as your underlying energy. Now, obviously, this doesn't have to be an Aries, Virgos. We know that. But the Emperor reverse is somebody that is losing control or has lost control, somebody that seems out of control. So you might have either instances in your life or somebody in your life that this seems to be like kind of the common theme. So, and this could be extremely bothersome to you. One, it's your natal return. And so when we approach our natal return, Virgos, there's always kind of this lead up, this build up of energy. And then the natal solar return hits. And it kind of feels as if there's this launch pad in our lives. And so it's your natal return. It's your solar return. And so you don't really want to deal with somebody that can't get their life together or is just always out of control or has anger issues, because you, in your well-defined energetic space, you like the structure. You like consistency. You like the structure. You like the details. This is overwhelming for you. So while if this is a love reading, you could be dealing with someone that's very angry, yes. But if we're not dealing with a love reading, okay, this is somebody that isn't but needs to take a breather and go sort some stuff out. This clearly shows that they're not doing it, but that they need to. And I hate to make this about somebody else because this is your reading, not theirs. However, I don't think that this is you. I don't feel like this is your energy. I think this is somebody around you. It's impacting you. You're trying to be compassionate about it, but it's like here you are being understanding and compassionate and even keeled. You know, you could have a water sign in your life that's doing this too, but you're also approaching this major transformative thing. So let's look at it this way, Virgos. This could have been you, or you're trying to transition out of this space into something that is a little bit more even keeled, and that in and of itself could be a major transformation. But this could also be you transforming yourself away from this energy, away from this person, because why? You need something more like this, right? The fogginess is clearing. You're not sitting in this space. You have a whole new opportunity for a beginning here. Major transformation. So I'm going to kind of leave these like this too, so you can see them. Now, there's a breaking point this month for you. Somewhere along the way, there's going to be a breaking point. And we can see that here very clearly by this row. I think this row has a lot to do with understanding. Now we have the Chariot, the Lovers, and the Nine of Swords, Eight of Cups, the Tower, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords reversed, the Hermit, and Seven of Swords reversed. So very clearly we can already see that there is a decision to move away from something that causes a shocking moment, definitely, but it also causes a brand new beginning. It's something. And this is interesting because these cards like this for most other signs would be a lot more stressful than it's going to be for you. Now, I know you can be known as the worriers and, too detailed and too critical. We know those are like the generalizations of Virgo, but I don't really think that your reasoning for being that way or your reason for those thought processes in your own head warrant those types of those generalizations, because I think what you're trying to do when you do that is just make sure that everyone's good. Just make sure that you're good in terms of feeling safe, feeling secure, knowing what's happening. having a thought out plan in front of you, being able to execute it, doing well, right? That all has to do with building self-esteem. And I could say this to anybody in any sign, yes, but for you, I think it holds a little bit more weight because that's your comfort zone. So it bothers me a lot, actually, when people generalize Virgos in sort of those negative connotations. Well, you have wonderful, beautiful generalizations too, but there's always kind of like this little negative like undertone about their generalizations, and it just really bothers me. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I think this is kind of your wheelhouse. I mean, there's some stressful cards here. There's some uncertainty, but look, there's also this brand new opportunity to start doing it right, starting from scratch, planting the right pentacle, making sure it can grow, planting it at the correct time. So these, right, deciding to move quickly, probably away from love is going to actually, or away from a person, is probably actually going to bring you a great deal of comfort, and it's going to calm your mind down. And we see this Nine of Swords here, it's reversed. The Lovers, reversed. So whatever caused this swift movement is actually going to take a huge weight off your shoulders. And I think you're going to take a deep breath and say to yourself, with this Eight of Cups, you know, this kind of sucks. I don't want to walk away. There was a lot of potential here, but you know what? This, in the back of my mind, this is a facade. This is a dream. This is a dreamscape. This is not reality. This may have been the idea. This may have been the plan, right? This may have been the goal. And there were emotions tied to what, quote unquote, could have been. But ultimately, I need to walk away. So this is you feeling kind of crappy about it. You see how sad he looks? Like he doesn't want to, he or she. But it is going to be shocking. But it's immediately followed by calmness, by ability. So I think, going back to what I was saying in the beginning, Virgos, I think very clearly this is somebody or something that's around you. It's causing you stress. But as soon as the decision was made, it's like, nope. It's like this split-second decision where you say no or yes to something new. It's a huge weight off of your shoulders. And you don't have to feel accountable or responsible for doing what you know is in your best interest or the situation's best interest, because it's actually offering something that can actually grow into something good. So again, we have this theme following along this line of very quick decision, followed by moments of introspection, and not in a negative way, followed by you taking care of yourself the way you know how, the way you know feels best for you. And not feeling guilty about it. You're not speculating about them. You're not worried about them. Not because you don't love them. If you're cross-watching, it's not because they don't love you. If you're cross-watching, or if you're a Virgo watching, you know, a little confused about this, this is you taking care of yourself. And you know what? If they don't understand that, then they don't understand you. You need your silence. You need your space. You need your quiet thoughts. You need to let your mind wander. It gets your solar plexus going, right? You need that space. Not away from them, but in this case, yeah, away from them. That's what this transformation is. Moving away from this energy, and either you're turning yourself into this energy or introducing, through massive transformation, somebody else. Could be a water sign coming into your life. They could have entered and caused all of this. Doesn't have to be the case though, so don't jump to that conclusion. All right, Virgos. I'm going to get into your extended, but I am going to pull a couple clarifiers very quickly because we like to have our questions answered. So let's clarify the Tower. We'll pull a lot more clarifiers when we get into the extended. I'm going to also do oracle card and then spiritual card reading, because I think this is all going to tie together. So let's clarify the Tower and then the Lovers reversed, and then we'll do some outcome cards. Please clarify the Tower and the Lovers reversed for Virgos. Please clarify the Tower and the Lovers. The Tower and the Lovers. So this isn't an easy decision, because there's actually a chemical reaction, right? There's a tie there with this person or with this scenario. You're bound to them, and on some level. Now, we could be dealing with some sort of addiction too, yes. I was listening to a really interesting podcast the other day about identifying addictive behaviors in a natal chart. And I don't know if I agree with this, frankly. I don't know if I agree with this woman's view on it, because the reason being is because she didn't say Pisces. And usually that's the one that everyone kind of known for having those escapism type of mentality. But she highlighted Aries, which I thought was crazy, but maybe due to the impulsivity. Virgo, and I can't remember what the other one, I can't remember if it was Scorpio. I think it was Scorpio, but I actually cannot remember. But it was surprising. So, I don't know, maybe I heard that podcast to, say what I just said for one person. I don't know. But it's going to be upsetting when this tie is broken, but it's a decision that you're making in the right way. Like, here you are deciding to move away from this. It's upsetting, it's not easy, but it is definitely allowing, because remember, the Tower allows us to rebuild that foundation from the ground up, stronger, better, more worthy. So that's what immediately after. Right? It doesn't mean the tie is gone. It doesn't mean the connection is gone. It doesn't mean you forget about them. It doesn't mean you don't love them. But it does mean that it offers a new opportunity for something better, something more grounded. And I think with the Seven of Cups here, I think, Virgos, you were asking out there, the universe, yourself. You were asking and seeking for some guidance in telling you that it's okay to make this decision. And as soon as you make it, whether you got the signs or signals or not, as soon as you make it, a weight is lifted, walking away. It sucks, but it's better. You see that? You see how this comes together? All right, let's pull some outcome, advice, and guidance messages, and then we're going to get into the extended. What are the outcome, advice, and guidance messages for Virgos? Outcome, advice, and guidance messages for Virgos. So yeah, we already kind of picked up on the fact that I thought this was the sun. Holy crap, the whole time I talked about it like it was a chariot. I mean, I know it is a chariot, but when it first popped out, I thought it was the sun. Duh. Please excuse me. Okay, so Three of Swords, the Sun, and the Queen of Cups. And then we had the Four of Swords reversed. So yeah, this is going to be emotional, but it is for the best. There is a split of some sort. There is a breaking away, a walking away, a moving away. It is emotional, but it is for the best. It's not like you're jumping for joy. A weight is lifted, but you're not jumping for joy over it, right? It's like you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt the situation, but you also know what's best for you. Okay? In terms of advice and guidance, you just have to know that there's going to be moments of feeling like this, but that it really truly is for the best. And there's great joy and success that's going to come afterwards. All right? All right, Virgos, I love you. I'm going to get into the extended. That link's below, and I will see you later. Bye.